DUIs are not simple traffic offenses. They're serious crimes. People will lose their liberty. People can lose their livelihood. There's a long list of collateral consequences that flow from a DUI conviction. The kinds of questions you need to ask to know that you've got a lawyer that can effectively defend you. What training have you had in the tools law enforcement uses to investigate DUI cases? What do you know about how an infrared breath testing device converts a breath sample into a blood alcohol value? You're not going to hear about breath alcohol in a courtroom. You're going to hear about blood alcohol. And if you don't know how to analyze that evidence, dissect that evidence, then you're not going to be very effective in most cases. That foundational knowledge is what you need to know that your attorney has in order to have confidence that they're going to effectively defend you. The reality is it's not a crime in South Carolina to drink and then drive. The crime is to drive a car in South Carolina when you're impaired, whether that impairment is the result of alcohol consumption, drug use, legal or illegal. Impairment is what is targeted, not alcohol use. We live in a culture where almost everybody's treated for something using pharmaceuticals. So almost everybody on the road at any given time is under the influence of some medication. It's not a crime to drive when you're following your doctor's orders and taking your medication. The standard is a very bright line standard. It's impairment. If you're prescribed medication that could cause you to be a danger to yourself or to others on the road, then you could be committing a crime. But simply because you've taken medication and followed the instructions of your doctor does not mean you've committed a crime. In South Carolina, you're not required to provide a breath sample for alcohol testing. Often the approach the state takes is if you've got nothing to hide, then of course you'll take the test. The reality is ethanol alcohol testing using a breath sample to determine a blood value is very imprecise. It would be easy to have an artificially high breath test result when you've consumed some alcohol, but not enough alcohol to be at the level the breath test machine will report you to be at. Law enforcement officers are trained to use field sobriety exercises, or tests as they're sometimes called, when they're investigating DUI cases. These exercises, unfortunately, are not very objective. They ask drivers to do things that they would not normally do in the course of their day. They're very strange, unusual tasks to perform, and it'd be easy to look out of balance, off balance, distracted when you're attempting to perform these exercises. The law does not require that anybody participate in the exercises. Anyone needing further information on these issues, I welcome you to visit my website, carrollawfirm.net. You're also welcome to contact my office at 737-4245, but I believe the website would provide you with the kind of information you need to understand what issues can be addressed and should be addressed in these kinds of cases.